Hi guys, this is Alex at 40s Fight Club, and I don't know about you, but the only thing I've got on my mind at 7:30 in the morning is coffee. Hi guys, Alex at 40s Fight Club here, coming to you from work. Yeah, you heard me, work. So that's today's subject. That's what we're going to talk about today. How to get around working, how to make your training fit with your work. In an earlier vlog, I addressed the 3 T's. Time, tiredness, and training regime are things that all hinder guys in their 30s, 40s and 50s ability to train regularly. But I'm going to talk about some other things today which are related but not quite the same. The most common reason why guys will stop training or bring their training right back or fall out of a regular training regime, which is one of the 3 T's, is work. They'll go, my boss called me and pulled me into work and I was planning on going to the gym, but then that didn't happen. I got called out on a job. I stayed back at work. I had to go into work early, so I missed the gym. If you're an early riser and go to the gym, then so this all revolves around the idea that they have to go to a place, but they didn't get to that place, so they didn't get to train. Now, a one-off, not so difficult, but when you do martial arts and combat sports, this can start really messing with the routine, because if you go on Monday, Wednesday and Friday to Muay Thai, for example, and then you miss class on Monday, so you feel, oh God, I didn't get to class on Monday, and then something comes up on the Wednesday, so you miss class on Wednesday, and oh right, now it's sparring on Friday, and I haven't trained all week, and now I'm going to get beat up, and your confidence comes down, you don't feel like you're able to go, and then this is how guys fall out of that training routine. As much as I hate to say it, one of the things I think that you have to adjust in your 30s, 40s and 50s if you're going to keep up a regular training routine that's rewarding and enjoyable is sometimes it's wise just to lower your expectations a little. Now, and not punish yourself if things go wrong, but also one of the great things that I've learned about keeping a regular training routine is being much more flexible about how I do things. In one of my other vlogs on the Fight Store Pro channel, I started vlogging about building the man cave or building a home gym, and I found that that was a very rewarding thing to do, but the biggest thing about it was everything could go wrong in a day. I could miss class, I could miss training, I could have my training bailed, and I could go into the man cave and get something done. And that something would motivate me to return the next day. And if the next day went wrong, I could still go into the man cave, get something done, and do it again. And do it again. And so even if I went 5, 6, 7 straight days without actually getting to train with other people because life happened, this still allowed me to train regularly. And this was a big, big difference. There are a whole bunch of exercises you can do with jiu-jitsu which you can do on your own, which will improve your game. Guys who go 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks without doing jiu-jitsu and they fall out the habit, then feel, oh, it's so much more difficult to go back. And that phrase, oh, I'd love to get back into it, I hate that phrase. I absolutely hate that phrase. If your job is a really high impact, you really get pulled away, find the time and find somewhere you can train in or close to your place of work. If you don't own your work, ask your boss if you can have a space where you can put a heavy bag. So my colleagues over in the States, we were over doing a photo shoot in LA, and we hung this heavy bag and some Olympic rings in the warehouse to do a photo shoot. And then a bunch of the guys, the workers at the warehouse, went, "Oh, that's great, why didn't we do that years ago?" And they started using the heavy bag. So the owner of the business says, "Oh, I'll just leave it up." And so there was like a couple of guys who were regularly, there was a guy who actually started going to work earlier and leaving later so that he could train, which was making him more motivated to work and made his boss very happy. So this is the type of thing which you can diversify and be a little bit more agile and not get stuck into one track of thinking. Lastly, when life does happen and it messes you up, the biggest thing, like I said in the channel intro, was the biggest mistake you can make in a training routine is to stop, but the second biggest mistake is to stay stopped. Don't do that. Accept that there's going to be bumps in the road and just try and get a fallback. Hey, I'm going to do 50 press ups. Hey, I'm going to do X amount of sit ups. I'm just going to do them. If you get home and all you want's a beer, go, I can have that beer after I've done 50 sit ups or 50 press ups or both, right? But if you do that, the mentality stays, and that's the biggest thing. Keeping it in your head will keep it going. Whereas a break at the gym doesn't really mean that much. It won't kill you. In fact, I went 3 or 4 weeks recently without deadlifting because I'd had an injury, and then when I went back I could actually lift more. I lifted one of my best lifts in a long time because I'd obviously allowed my body time to repair. So just having a break isn't going to kill you. It's not going to stop you physically. It's up here, it's mentally that these things affect you. To summarize, work and life happens in your 30s, 40s and 50s is the biggest killer to anybody's training regime, to blame work. But it's not work's fault, it's your fault for allowing it to get in the way. You have to be agile on your feet, you have to be able to diversify, get some equipment for the house, for your home, just a little bit, just enough to do certain things, whatever takes your fancy. You probably build this up over time. I know that there's a whole gym graveyard in many people's garages, but just choose the stuff that's going to work for you and get into a habit of using it, and it will work for you. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. That was 40s Fight Club for today. I'll catch you later.